Interview.
Hey guys, Dan, Justin, Uncharted 3. Now you've got some huge shoes to fill here, and you're bringing some pretty big game with Uncharted 3. You've just revealed a whole bunch of multiplayer modes. Give us a bit of a rundown on why single-player epic kind of moments are the thing that you're trying to get into multiplayer now.
I think we always sort of wanted to do these last game. They're just very difficult, and so now that we had a little more time, a little more sort of development time, because last game was such a get it done, get it in, make it work. Now we can go back and do the things we wanted to do. And so Uncharted, one of our key things is our sort of epic moments, right? And our cool collapses and all that stuff. And so we always wanted to do that last game. We just didn't have time to do it. And so now we can put in you'll play the journalists are playing it today, a chase across the tarmac with trucks going after a plane that's about to take off and jumping onto that plane, and sort of feels really, really cool. Or like a collapsing chateau, all that stuff. It became, it was always part of Uncharted. Now it's part of the other part of Uncharted, which is multiplayer.
What are some of the challenges of getting those kind of big epic scale moments into a multiplayer game?
I think for us, the big thing was, first of all, we wanted to look great, right? We're not really willing to make any concessions, so it's got to play great and look great. So making sure those two things never compete with each other is very difficult. So tech-wise, we had to make sure that the events trigger and everybody sees them at the same time, and it doesn't look bad for somebody. And if one player dies over here, do they get it, and all that other stuff. So just technically, it was tricky. And then making it look super awesome is very, very important, and that's hard too.
Now, during the trailer, we saw some vehicles flying in. I've got to ask, I'm sure everyone is, are they going to be palatable vehicles?
No, they're not. So basically what we sort of stuck with is what we did in the single player, where last game when they had the convoy. So that sort of idea in multiplayer. So it's these things that are events that are going on, you're on these moving objects, but you're not actually driving them. So
now you're talking about a couple of multiplayer modes, including one that's pushing cooperative play to a new level. Tell us a little bit about that.
So that game type is called 3-Team Deathmatch. And so what that is you and one friend against two other teams of 2 people each. So it's this very tactical mode where you're staying with your friend, and there's sort of alliances joining and being broken all the time. So one team will two of the teams will team up and go against one of the other teams. Then they'll start fighting each other, and sort of try to keep that one team from getting too far out in front. And it really, really feels like I want to stay with my friend. I want to I can spawn on him. I really want to be with him all the time, which is really cool.
Perks and customization are also a couple of things that have featured pretty heavily in the demo you're showing today.
Yeah.
What is it about giving players that ability to customize and show themselves the way they think they should be able to?
I think for a multiplayer player, you don't want to feel like you're locked into whatever the game designer decided. You want to feel like I want to play how I want to play in the style that I'm interested in playing, and I want to look how I want to look. And so all those things mean more and more customization. So the type of boosters you're using for my type of gameplay, the type of guy that I look like, the type of colors I'm wearing, the emblem I'm wearing, all those things are me. They define me in the game. So it's important to give the player as much choice as we possibly could.
Now, split screen, you'll probably win a few fans on that one. And probably the biggest surprise is that you'll be able to do 2 independent PSN IDs on the same console and track progressions individually?
Yeah, exactly. That's super important for us. So, when we did it, we were like, okay, so it's split screen. Does that mean you have to have sort of a fake account or a temp login? And we're like, well, that sucks. What if me and my brother want to level up at the same time? And so we figured out a way to make it so there's 2 logins with the PSN. We can both track our progression. We can both be our own guy, look however I want to look, and not have to worry about what my buddy looks like, which is really, really cool. And it makes it feel like, I think, more and more players will get into it, because it's like, oh, I will sit down with my friend and play it, because we can both rank up. It's not just you and I'm sort of helping you.
Now, people are going to want to play this one, obviously. You've got some early beta access coming. What are the details on that?
So early beta access, with Infamous 2, there's early access. PSN Plus, there's early access. Those are both 28.6.11, and then for everybody else on the PSN store, 5.7.11.
And just a reminder for anyone that hasn't been following, Uncharted 3 coming to the PlayStation 3 when?
11.1.11.
Perfect. Thank you for chatting with us, and we'll have more on Uncharted 3 coming up soon. Check GameSpot for more information.